How early on should you get the pre-approval for your mortgage? What kind of time frame? I think any time is a good time to get pre-approved, knowing that your paperwork, if you go through the complete process, your paperwork is only good for about 60 days, and then they have to renew it. So, you know, if you're thinking that you want to be moving into a new house in June, just for your information to know what price homes you should be looking at, you can get pre-approved now, or at least pre-qualified, where somebody says, well, you've given me these numbers, assuming your credit is this, you really do have your job and make that kind of money, these really are your debts, then on that assumption, you could probably look at a house in this price range with this kind of payment. So I think you need to figure out when your ideal time frame is for being in a house, and then back up from there. But really, if you're thinking this spring, it would not hurt, even now, to get a sense of what you could spend. How long does the process take? Generally speaking, I think if you figure 6 weeks maximum for most properties, most loan programs, you're going to be fine. From the time you make the offer, you're also going to do a property inspection. Everybody nod their head, yes, we're going to do a property inspection. You need to know what it is that you're spending all that money on and what condition it's in. So you're going to do a property inspection. Then the bank is going to do an appraisal to make sure that the property is worth what you're paying and what you're financing. They're going to do an update on all of your credit information, your job situation. And as you go through this packet, there's a page that says thou shalt not do. And it's a list of all the things that when you're buying a house you should not do, like go out and buy a new car. Don't care what the interest rates are. Don't do it. Buy the house and then buy the car. Don't get so excited that you want a house full of furniture because you're moving into a new place and spend $5,000 on new furniture at our van. That's not a good thing to do. So there's a list in there of just reminders. Don't sign for somebody else, co-sign on a loan for somebody else, because all of those things can take what looks like a beautiful picture and make it look pretty ugly, because lenders are just so incredibly fussy about people's credit right now. The question was the time frame for having a property inspection once you have an accepted offer. I usually suggest that you do it within the first 7 days if you possibly can, because you want to know right away if there are some issues that you hadn't expected, and the seller wants to know, are you going to go forward with this? Because there may be some additional negotiating that has to take place based on the property inspection. You know, the seller may have thought the roof was good. The property inspector went up and looked at the shingles, assuming that there's no snow and ice on the roof, and looked at the shingles and said, you know what, you've got maybe a year left on this roof. You may end up going back to the seller to negotiate based on something that you find. So, you know, in the best of all worlds, you write your offer, within 7 days you do a property inspection, you remove that contingency, and the process keeps going forward. So I will also give, in terms of time frames, let you know that short sales, foreclosures, where people are having to negotiate with their banks to sell the homes for less than what they owe on them, can take an incredibly long period of time. I wrote an offer on a property at the end of August, and I have yet, for a client, and we have yet to get back an acceptance from the institution that had the mortgage on the property. So if you're in a rental situation and you're on a month-to-month basis and that's what you're looking for, just remember you're going to be waiting a long time. You may not get that garden until July. So, you know, just FYI, there are some great opportunities out there, but you might have to wait to even get a response to the offer.